Hey guys, it's me, EODMoney here, and in this video, I want to share with you how you can make money by trading on the Steam community marketplace. Now, I'm going to be applying my real-life knowledge, 10 plus years of trading stocks in the professional world, onto a gaming platform like Steam community marketplace, and I think a lot of you people might find it very helpful and insightful, and I actually make quite a lot of money that I buy most of my games for free, not having to top up at all, and I'm going to show you. So let's start start off with something super generic that can be applied to everything. And it's the fundamental of how much is the amount of money you can make when you're looking at an item. Whenever you go into any single item that you see, you will notice all the way below, and this is the first thing I want to talk about, is the buy and sell order cumulative chart over here. This is also called the buy and sell spread. What a buy and sell spread means is if you were to buy at 0.55 right now, and then you were to sell at 0.74, you will be making approximately 20 cents each time someone buys from you and you sell to someone. So if you buy from someone at the very low cost at 0.55, you sell to someone at 0.74, you basically make a 19 cents, 20 cents kind of thing, which if you think about the cost price is roughly around a 33% return. You do that 3 times, you doubled your money. Really, ideally speaking, or that's like very idealistic, in the reality is volume tends to be a bit slow, and which is the second thing that you need to couple in together if looking at your market. So don't go, first thing first, of course, don't go for anything that has a very low spread, because you get eaten by the Steam community market tax also, which eats into your profits. So anything that has like a spread of 0.01, 0.03 buy and sell spread, I don't play in those markets. You can't make money from trading those unless the market moves in your favor. What you're trying to look at is like a static market like this. You buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. You capitalize on making the market, we will call it in the equity world. So, second point that I want to talk about, a tip to notice how to pick up good cards, good items to buy, is looking at the volume, and this is the medium sales price. Coupled with the first part where we talk about, you are looking for stuff with high volume, because the faster or more people buy and more people churn, the faster you make your money, the faster you double your money eventually. And the next thing that I'll look at is how much is exactly sold on firstly a day-to-day and then a week-by-week basis. So you can see here that one person sold at 0.73, and then someone apparently someone sold at 0.39, which is super low, and then 0.54. You see a certain trend here that you can go out on this market, and you can see people are willing to pay like $1 plus for this item. There's 15 that were sold at $1 plus. So there is a market that people will buy from you at 0.74, and that's how I know, yes, this is a possibility of like making money here. So for example, 0.74, I see something that is like above the current spread. People are actually willing to buy at the peaks above 0.74. I know that there's a chance, and it's quite consistent across like just the span of 1 month. There was like so many incidents of people buying above $1. So that makes me quite comfortable knowing that if I hold some inventory here, I will be able to sell it eventually if it stretches out like a month, 2 months. And the volume is also decent. In just the span of like 1 month, you have at least, I don't know, seems like almost 60 trades. There's a 22 one here at 99 cents. So it's quite a lot of trades. So the second part I'll look at is liquidity and volume, or volume of transactions, which translates to liquidity and how fast I can get rid of my stock. Because the worst thing you want is to be stuck on all these cards in your inventory that cost you 54 cents to buy, and then you are stuck with all of them in your inventory when you want to buy a limited game and stuff. So I tend to use some of my excess liquidity, build up inventory, and then I just list it on the market and wait for the idea to actually come to fruition, to come fulfilled. So that is the second thing that I want to point out. The third thing that I want to point out is chart analysis. So when you look at a chart like this, these two charts, they are static, which means they're looking at a current point in time. You also need to consider the lifetime effect of the card. What has happened across the period of time? The worst thing that you can do is you buy at this price and then tomorrow it drops. Then the day after it drops because it's on a falling trend. That's the last thing we want. So I always like to look at maybe the past 6 months, 1 year, what has the price been like? So I see here that the price has been relatively low. It has been like 0.23, 0.19, and it's always been around the 20 cents, 30 cents mark. But sometimes it goes up higher, like this one, there's a 67 cents. There is, for example, a 30 cents. It has been very, very low for a super long time. Some spikes here, it went up to 92 cents. There are some spikes here also, 72 cents. But recently, in the past few months, you can see that there is a bit of a bump, and it actually increased towards the later part. So that's when the next thing that you need to understand, which ties in with external factors, which is what I want to talk about next. You must understand what this object that you are trading in, what is the nature, and what are the things that influence it. So just a bit of background, this is an artifact card, which is a game that has no longer any more support. This is just very limited, but then again, not much use. Limited, but not much use. So when it first released, it was one of the best cards in the game, and then it started dropping in value because the game was like pretty much dead. And then gradually over time, you can see when the game no longer receives support, slowly the value decline, and once the developers pulled out, the card is now practically worthless. But it's still was the best card in the game back then, and people have fond memories about it. So a lot of people, this is like a super speculative market, especially for this X card, which is one of the most desirable cards of Artifact so far. That's some of the external factors. So that comes the next question you need to ask yourself. Movements like this, is it being manipulated by a market? Which is the next thing that I want to talk about, is market manipulation. So how do you tell whether an item is being market manipulated? Is when you see random spikes like this with no market news. You search on Google, Artifact has no news, and this is all purely someone buying up the inventory and someone raising the prices intentionally by limiting the amount of resource. So the effects here you can see is already pumped up by very significant amounts over the last few weeks. And how we actually did this on the channel, I can just show you in my inventory here. Okay, so I went back all the way back to like last year, which is when the price started to spike. And what I did is I bought up every single card or any single card that was too low on the marketplace. You can see here I bought some at like 0.25, 0.25, 0.24. I just basically walloped the entire market 64 trades ago. So I basically cleared the entire wave. Anytime someone is like selling it for too cheap, I'll basically be like buying off too cheap. And I believe this is like a sell. So I sold off at this price as well. You can see I can go on slightly further. So I bought it at 43 cents, 39 cents, and I basically ate up the entire spread on the market. I didn't want anyone to be able to like manipulate my market because I wanted to be the first entrance in, and I bought like a lot of X cards. I was holding a ton of these at one point. So you can see I bought it all at 36 cents. I pushed the market all the way up to 52 cents, 57 cents, creating this artificial inflation in the entire market, which is the chart that you see over there. So I don't recommend you playing this. This is just an example of what I did. I don't think it's something that everyone can do. There's a lot of risk, but it's something that I want to point out in this video as well to make it very comprehensive rather than just teaching you basic stuff. Steam Marketplace generally is a little bit more easier to push the market, especially if you have a sizable bank. You don't really need a huge bank, like $30. You can probably do this already and make a little bit of money by moving the market a little bit. So as you can see, like I bought tons of stuff. All the cards here, 50 plus cents, 30 plus cents. I bought it all, every single card that I have. And recently, I can just go show you, we sold it at like 98 cents. I sold it at 48 here, just moving around the market. Sold it at some 48. This is after tax, of course, after accounting for some tax. I just sold everything at 48. I just dumped a little bit. So I made back like 12 cents roughly on average on some of them, which is not a lot of money, but if you do this regularly, you basically can pay for some of your games that you're looking for across the period of time. If you're even more active than me, I only did like 60 pages of trades in a year, but if you're super active, you will likely be making a lot more money. So that's the next thing I want to talk about market manipulation, how you have to be careful on that, and how you spot trends on market manipulation as well. And these are ways that you push up the market artificially. Now the next thing, of course, now that I talked about market manipulation, how do you lower your risk and avoid getting market manipulated? That is the next big question. So first things first, many different games have many different environmental and external factors. For example, Dota 2, if you talk about the skins, newer skins or skins that pro players use and people think it's very nice, those might get a bump. If characters get a buff, all these kind of things will move up and down. So if you don't want to play into any of these trends like meta shift and stuff like that, I will highly recommend you lower your risk and go to less meta-focused markets instead, so you don't have to keep up to the times. For example, you quit Dota 2, you don't really know what to focus on anymore, you don't want to be exposed in that. Other stuff like Counter-Strike, it has very, very liquid market, but means a lot of people are playing in this space as well, and you have to follow and know exactly what is the desirable items and not, which is a very, very challenging market. So that's why I chose Artifact, which is a very, very easy market to play, decent volume, not too much meta because the game is pretty much dead. It's all a thing of the past, and just sharing with you some thoughts of how I lower my risk there. How else you can go in? You can just come into the marketplace over here. These are the games that have a high amount of volume in terms of transaction volume, amount of market trades and stuff. So you can go into one of these games first and check it out what you're interested in, and then look for certain things. Best is if you play a game and you already know how it's done, and then look for all the factors that we talked about. Last but not least, of course, on this list, I want to share is how do you scale up? Doing a 10-cent sale, 20-cent sale is nice, is great to have, but you want to actually make a lot more money rather than just 10 cents, 20 cents. So if you keep doing this over time, you slowly start snowballing, you can expand into new markets. You open into, let's say I'm just trading the X card, I'm now trading into another thing, maybe something on Dota 2, then I trade something on Counter-Strike, and etc., and slowly my inventory starts going up. As you scale with time, in 1 year, 2 years, your inventory size will either grow larger or you have more items that you're waiting on the market. This also lowers your risk tremendously because you have more things that are churning, more things that are making money. And if one idea fails, the other one helps you cover up the loss. But most of the time, if you follow the tips that I talked about in this video, you should be making a decent amount of money as long as you be careful on the pitfalls. Last but not least, of course, I just want to point out, do not play in this X Artifact Classic market firstly, because I've already in it, so I don't want you to, this video is not meant to publicize any of my trades. I don't want to profit from you. I'm just sharing you this information. Go out there. I gave you the tools. Find something that you like, find other markets. And if you want other ways of making money on Steam, here are some of the other videos I think is very helpful for you as well. Check it out. And I also talk about stocks. I talk about equities, investing, how to make other money in other forms on this YouTube channel. Subscribe and see you in the next video.